All right, I don't know what exactly happened before, but for some reason, my QuickTime stopped working, and so I'm starting not all over again. This is a continuation of the previous file, and so we are trying to learn how to identify moon's phase and where the moon is located on a given part of the sky. So again, on a piece of paper, you should be able to identify where the sun is, right? And then you draw your Earth with the North Pole, and then as you look north, from north down on the system, Earth spins in this direction, but also Earth goes around the sun that way. All is counterclockwise, I think, by somebody standing north. Now let's place the moon. Let's place the moon in this diagram. But before doing that, let's quickly reproduce what we did before. So if you want to indicate somebody at noon, that's what it is, noon. Somebody at 6 p.m. on Earth, affecting the equator, that's what it is, 6 p.m. This is somebody at midnight, and this is somebody at 6 a.m. in the clock time, and the sun is right here. Now let's place the moon in this diagram. The first moon that you can put, the simplest one, is called the new moon. The new moon lies between Earth and the sun, so that should be it. So that is the moon in its new phase. And now, 7 days about later, as the moon goes around Earth in its counterclockwise direction, the moon is going to be located in this position, and we call this the first quarter. First quarter. And then 7 days later, the moon, as it goes around Earth, should be positioned over here, and we call that the full moon. The full moon. So all the phases between new and full moon, they are called waxing phases. Waxing phases, growing bigger. And waxing phases means that every night, as you see the moon in the sky, the moon seems to be slightly bigger than it was in the day before. And I will explain what slightly bigger means. But after the full moon, the moon goes a series of waning phases, waning phases, waning phases. And the major waning phase after past full moon is the third or last quarter. Third or last quarter, and then finally back to the new moon where it all starts. So new moon, first quarter, full moon, last quarter. Those are the three or the four main moon phases that you know, and that's how they progress in the sky. Now, what is interesting is that at any given position, the moon is, in fact, I should draw it differently. Wait a second. At any given position, the moon is, as it goes orbiting Earth, the moon is always half lit by the sun. So the part of the moon that is being lit by the sun, that's being illuminated by the sun, that is bright because it's reflected sunlight, in my diagram here, it is shown in white. So the black is because it's dark. So look at this, in the new phase right here, this is the new phase, the bright part of the moon, the part of the moon's hemisphere receiving sunlight is facing the sun, not Earth, which means in the new moon you don't receive any reflected sunlight. The new moon, you don't see any of it in the sky, even if you could block the sun. I mean, usually the phases, the new moon phase or the phases close to the new moon, like the waning crescent or waxing crescent, these phases are difficult to see in the sky because the moon appears to be very much close to the sun, and as you well know by experience, the sun is too bright. So you should never look straight or directly towards the sun because it damages the retina in your eyes. So even a phase that is reflecting some of sunlight towards us is very hard to see because the sky is too bright in the region where the sun is. So, but that is the new moon. The first quarter, as you look at it, the first quarter appears half bright and half dark as we see it from Earth. And the best time to see a first quarter moon is what? 6 p.m. In 6 p.m., you look towards your local meridian and you see the moon crossing your local meridian. Beautiful, bright half part facing the region where the sun is, and the dark part, we don't see it. And then the moon is called full because the lit hemisphere now faces Earth. And the best time to see it is at midnight when that full moon crosses your meridian. And the same thing with the last quarter, and so on, so on, so on. So again, the first thing to do on a piece of paper, you indicate where the sun is, where Earth is, and then you mark the clocks, right? Noon, 6 p.m., midnight, 6 a.m., and then you place the 4 major moon phases in there. You starting with the new moon, which lies between Earth and the sun. Okay. Now, what I would like to show next is, let's say you have a given moon phase and you want to find out at what time that moon phase is supposed to rise and set. How can you figure that? Well, where is my paper? There you go. Oh. So how do you figure that? So let me show you how you do that. So again, you start with your little drawing indicating where the sun is. You can put in the other side, doesn't matter. You place your Earth. This is your noon time, right? 6 p.m. right here. And then that's midnight, and that's 6 a.m. So you're putting your clock, 6 a.m. And let's say you wanna draw a moon at this location right here, and you wanna find at what time of the day this moon is supposed to rise and is supposed to set, right? So how can you figure that? There's a little trick, and I show you how to. You make a T connecting the center of the moon with the center of Earth. You draw this line, and then to make a T, you have to make it perpendicular to that point. Okay? So this time of the day is the time that moon is supposed to set. And this time of the day is the time where the moon, that particular moon, is supposed to rise. So it rises here, set at this time. So this moon is in the waning part of the sky, is the waning gibbous. So by doing your T diagram, a waning gibbous is supposed to rise at this time, and that is what? 9 p.m. And it's supposed to set at 9 a.m., something like that. Got that one? Let's try another one. Let's place a waning crescent moon. Waning crescent moon. So let me erase this part over here first. So a waning crescent moon, and certainly you have to know how to identify those positions in the sky. So a waning crescent moon is somewhere here, right? It's not a third quarter and it's not a new moon, so it's somewhere there, waning crescent. So at what time a waning crescent moon rise and set? You do your T, right there. So rise, set. So it's set at, let's say, 4 p.m. and it rises at 4 a.m. That's why if you like the E.T., you know, the E.T., Phone Home, that movie E.T., that movie E.T. has a waning moon has a waning crescent moon in the middle of the sky, by the way, at 2 a.m. Can't be, right? It's really can't be. It doesn't. It can't be. So you can find all kind of ways of learning the moon's phase um, that way. So it's very simple to figure out when at what time of the day the moon rises or set. So those are the three animations I would like to say something about it. Um, Stellarium is another animation that if you want to have a planetarium in your computer that is somewhat complete, I would recommend um, this software as well. And let me show you how to get it. So you go to stellarium.org. And then you choose which system you are running. If it's a Mac or it's a Linux, a Windows, or Ubuntu. I have no idea what that is. So choose your system and then you download. It's free of charge. It's a wonderful software. It's not as complete as the Starry Night software. The Starry Night software you must pay, but it is as good and can help you to kind of simulate the night sky in a very nice way. So chapter 2 and 4, pretty much this is Starry Night software. It's the one that I showed yesterday, January 6, 2017. So at 6 p.m., the moon, look at this, we just learned about the moon, right? So the moon is pretty much on the waxing phase, the sun is to the right, and the moon is kind of apparently half lit, looks like. Let's see if we get information. Yeah, disk illumination 64 is in a gibbous phase. It's not 50%. So it's in a gibbous phase. So the moon is going to be in the sky. Let me show you what can we have in the sky at night. That's the ecliptic. So Venus it's going to be done 7 p.m. Yeah, Venus is going to be visible in the sky as long as with Mars it's very conspicuous. You can't miss that. And so if you are there by 6 o'clock or so, Venus is going to be probably in a crescent. In a telescope, it look like a moon, like that. Of course, we can't see all these nice details, but it's going to be there. And Mars is going to be trailing Venus. Mars appears kind of a reddish in coloration, so you'll be able to see it. But Orion is going to be visible in the sky. Orion Nebula is right here. We'll be able to see it. Taurus, Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. So there are things to see in the sky. in addition to the moon. So that's gonna be an awesome night if everything is clear, and Pleiades is gonna be there too. So hope to see some of you tonight in there. Have a nice weekend, and don't forget 3 assignments are closing tomorrow at midnight.